The time of troubles in Russia, 1598 to 1613, was one of the most dramatic and tumultuous periods in the country's history. It was a time of political instability, civil strife, foreign intervention, and the search for a new Tsar. This era began after the death of Tsar Feodor I, the last of the Rurik dynasty, and it ended with the establishment of the Romanov dynasty. During this period, numerous conspiracies, power struggles, and foreign invasions took place. The Russian court was not only the center of intrigue and mystery, but also a place where legends, rumors, and scandals thrived. The death of Tsar Feodor I and the struggle for power. The death of Tsar Feodor I in 1598, the last ruler from the Rurik family, marked the beginning of the time of troubles. His death left no heirs, and this created a power vacuum. Feodor's death was followed by the brief and uncertain reign of his brother-in-law, Boris Godunov, who became the new Tsar. However, many believe that Godunov had played a role in Fyodor's death, or at least in his eventual incapacity to rule. Rumors of poison and intrigue spread quickly, but there was no solid evidence to confirm these suspicions. Boris Godunov's reign was marked by a series of famines, unrest, and accusations of tyranny, all of which contributed to the instability of the period. The False Dmitriys, impostors and conspiracies. One of the most famous stories from the time of troubles involves the so-called False Dmitriys, several impostors who claimed to be the deceased son of Ivan the Terrible, Dmitry Ivanovich. The most famous of these impostors appeared in Poland in the early 1600s, where he was supported by foreign powers and eventually crowned Tsar in 1605, after the death of Boris Godunov. His reign was short-lived, as he was assassinated in 1606, but the idea of the False Dmitriys continued to persist throughout the time of troubles. The first False Dmitry was believed to have been a Polish nobleman who took on the guise of the Tsarevich Dmitry, who supposedly died under mysterious circumstances in 1591. Despite strong opposition from the Russian nobility and the clergy, the False Dmitry first was crowned Tsar in Moscow with the help of Polish forces, igniting rumors of Polish influence over Russia. His reign was filled with conspiracies and intrigue, and he was eventually assassinated by a faction of Russian nobles. After the death of the first False Dmitry, other impostors appeared, continuing to fuel the chaos. Each of them had a following, and they were backed by different foreign powers, mainly Poland, and the struggle for the throne continued for several years, undermining the legitimacy of the Russian monarchy. The role of foreign interventions and wars. The time of troubles also saw extensive foreign involvement. Poland, Sweden, and even the Crimean Khanate intervened in Russia's internal conflicts, seeing the disarray in Moscow as an opportunity to expand their influence. The Polish intervention was especially significant as they supported the False Dmitriys and sought to impose a Catholic king on the Russian throne. Polish armies occupied parts of Russia, and at one point, Poland even installed a Tsar, Vasily IV, who ruled under Polish protection. Meanwhile, Sweden also took advantage of the internal chaos, seizing territories in the northwest and threatening to claim Moscow as part of their empire. The Russian people were forced to fight not only for their throne, but also to defend their land from foreign invaders. The formation of the national militia and the liberation of Moscow. The Russian population did not sit idly by during these foreign invasions. In response to the turmoil, local militias formed to defend their homes and expel foreign forces. The most famous of these efforts was the popular uprising led by Prince Dmitry Pozharsky and Kuzma Minin, who gathered a volunteer army to liberate Moscow from Polish occupation. The military and moral support of the common people was critical in expelling the foreign troops and restoring Russian independence. The militia's success culminated in the liberation of Moscow in 1612, and their victory was seen as a significant turning point in the fight for Russia's sovereignty. The people's struggle, which unified the Russian society across social classes, was one of the key moments in the establishment of the Romanov dynasty. The Romanov dynasty, the end of the Troubles. In 1613, after years of unrest, the Russian nobility gathered to elect a new czar. The Romanov family, who had been minor nobles in Russia, emerged as the new ruling family. Mikhail Romanov, the son of the Archbishop of Rostov, was chosen to be the new czar, bringing an end to the time of troubles. The Romanov dynasty would rule Russia for over 300 years, shaping the future of the country for generations to come. Conclusion. The time of troubles was a period of great instability for Russia, marked by assassinations, conspiracies, foreign invasions, and the struggle for power. The legends and rumors surrounding this period, such as the False Dmitriys and the involvement of foreign powers, continue to fascinate historians and remain a significant chapter in Russia's history. The eventual rise of the Romanov family, after years of turmoil, signified the end of the Troubles and the beginning of a new era for Russia.